It's the Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Let's go and get things started. Dennis Cox sitting in for Tim Donnelly this afternoon. Max Goren producing the show. Max, there's no big 3 at 3. There's one big damn story right now. Hit the breaking news. Max, get the music ready. Get the pump it up ready.
It's ready.
Nikolaj Ehlers, 6-year contract with the Carolina Hurricanes at $8.5 million a year. The free agent frenzy continues. Presented by John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. We got Nikolaj Ehlers, baby. We got Nikolaj Ehlers, 6 years, $8.5 million a year, baby. Let's pump it up. Let's go. Let's pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. This Canes team got better this offseason, folks. It got better. Crank that music. Crank that music, Max. Let's go. Don't you know? Pump it up. I said crank the music, Max. We got Nikolaj Ehlers, baby. You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Yeah, that's right. Pump it up, Max. We got Nikolaj Ehlers, folks. News just happened. Dave Pagnotta, fourth period. As I catch my breath. Dave Pagnotta, fourth period. Reported the terms. 6 years, $51 million total. So that's $8.5 million a year. You got to think about what this Canes team has added. You added a top 4 defenseman in Keandre Miller. Now you have Alexander. I'm sorry. I'm excited here, Max.
I'm
excited.
I couldn't tell.
I'm excited.
That's good value too. I love that. I love that number.
It's not. I don't think it's an over. I think that was right around what people were expecting. 8.5. Now the question was, does he go 6, 7 years? How long is the term going to be? 6 years, $8.5 million for a guy who is a consistent goal scorer in the NHL. I'm talking consistently 24, 25, 26, 27 goals. Now, he hasn't been a 30-plus goal guy yet in the NHL. Keyword, yet. He's been on pace to be a 30-plus goal guy. But he hasn't reached that yet because sometimes, dealing with injuries, he hasn't played a full season. Again, there have been stretches over an 82-game season where he was on that pace, though. Let's be honest, folks. This Canes team needed goal scoring. They only had, coming back from last year, Sebastian Aho, Andrei Svechnikov, Seth Jarvis as 20-plus goal guys. That's it. That's it. This team needed scoring on their top line. And if you haven't heard the news, just tuning in, Nikolaj Ehlers signing with the Carolina Hurricanes, 6-year contract, $8.5 million a year. Max, we're going to get into at 3:15 about what the Canes can still do, now that they've officially made this move. But when you look at what this team has done over the last 3 days, you got a top 4 defenseman in Keandre Miller. You got younger in that regard. And you got a top-line forward. Like Nikolaj Ehlers alongside Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis, one heck of a top line. And Nikolaj Ehlers is a guy that's not afraid to shoot the puck. Just a couple of seasons ago, he averaged 3.9 shots on goal a game. So this guy's not afraid to shoot at volume, which we all know Carolina Hurricanes aren't afraid to shoot the puck at volume, Max. Not afraid of it. But this team has gotten better than what it was. Now, we can have the longer-term conversation of, can this team beat the Florida Panthers? We'll have that conversation in a little bit. Because obviously the Florida Panthers are the standard. Now, you can probably beat the Florida Panthers in a regular season game this calendar year because they're probably still hungover from their celebrations. That's, again, separate conversation. But when you look at what this team has done, they've built scoring depth now. Because you look at it, Nikolaj Ehlers probably going to play in your top line with Aho and Jarvis. Well, guess what? That pushes Svechnikov down, air quotes, down. Does he play on a line with Taylor Hall as another winger? Then that puts Stankoven down with Martinook, which then moves down Jackson Blake. We'll actually get into the Jackson Blake of this all potentially coming up and how this impacts everything else. Is this the setup for the next thing? Because we saw reports today from Dave Pagnotta, Chris Johnston of The Athletic, Pagnotta of the Fourth Period, about what's the dominoes that would fall. So the teams that missed out on Nikolaj Ehlers, okay, what's the backup plan? Do I go sign a Jack Roslovic? Do I now go the trade route to get a top 6 forward? Well, the Carolina Hurricanes don't have to do that. They just simply don't have to do that now. Now, the Canes could still go the trade route if they want to add somebody, but in my eyes, this team has gotten better. They needed a consistent goal scorer that can play in their top 6. They have that. They needed to add that. So they got it. They needed a top 4 defenseman. They got it. They got a young, up-and-coming top-end prospect in Alexander Nikishin that'll be a full-time player this upcoming year. On paper, this team looks better than what it was. Now, are there still improvements that be made? Yes, absolutely. We have heard Eric Tulsky say on this show and in press conferences, until we have the 20 best players in the league, we're not going to stop. And here's the best part, in my opinion, about this signing, Max, other than obviously getting a capable goal scorer and someone that can help your team right away. You didn't have to trade for him. It didn't cost you a first-round pick, second-round pick, or any current players on your roster in order to go get them. Only thing it took was just cash, which you had to spend. So $8.5 million a year for for Nikolaj Ehlers. $8.5 million a year over 6 years. That's the terms of the contract, according to Dave Pagnotta. The NHL Network actually has it up on their television right now on the bottom, like lower third scroll. So 6 years, $8.5 million a year for Nikolaj Ehlers. This team added what it needed in Nikolaj Ehlers. Now, how much of a difference does that make in the playoffs? Valid question. He hasn't been the best playoff performer, though this past season in 2 rounds of the playoffs, he had 5 goals. Now, the Winnipeg Jets overall have been an underachieving team in the playoffs. I don't know, that's a byproduct of when your goaltender and hasn't been playing great, and Connor Hellebuck, and you're constantly playing from behind in games. Well, that can obviously factor into your goal scoring as well when other teams just ping you down, lock you down. Maybe that's a byproduct of that. But this year, they got to the second round of the playoffs, lost to the Dallas Stars, 5 goals scored in the playoffs for Nikolaj Ehlers. Can he be a consistent playoff performer? By all like the advanced numbers and people that really study advanced analytics and when it comes to the NHL, a lot of people always say that, hey, Nikolaj Ehlers, in terms of his puck possession numbers, his ability to carry the puck into the zone, especially those kinds of things that he can bring, fits into the Carolina Hurricanes style of puck possession. Now, we talked to Eric Tulsky yesterday, and Eric Tulsky actually has written about this in the past before he even became a general manager, back when he used to be a consultant with analytics for hockey teams around the NHL about 12 years or so ago, about how teams that carry the puck into the offensive zone generally are more effective than just the general dump and chase. Now, he even talked about it yesterday about how Carolina is not afraid to just dump the puck into the zone because it's the fastest way for them to get into the zone and go possess the puck. But one thing that I will say was missed when Carolina traded away Martin Necas last year, especially on the power play, was someone who had the ability to carry the puck into the zone on power plays. And I think this is something where you might see Nikolaj Ehlers thrive in Carolina, is the ability to actually carry the puck into the offensive zone. I think those are different things that might not be tangible for us when it comes to just the traditional counting stats of goals and assists and plus minus. But overall, he's been a very responsible player in terms of possessing the puck, getting pucks towards the net, everything that the Carolina Hurricanes want to do. He's a system fit for Carolina on top of already being a consistent goal scorer as well. Again, generally a 25 goal scorer throughout his career. Yeah. And he's been, I think, 8-9 years now of 20-plus goals in the NHL. That's something that this Canes team desperately needed to have. needed to have that top-end goal scorer.
Yeah, and those zone entries on the power play will be crucial because that's one of the components that's whenever you see the team kind of go on those droughts on the power play, that is something that's missing is getting those clean entries and setting up on the power play time. So adding him to that could be crucial and hopefully will help avoid those typical kind of droughts on the power play we've seen over the last couple of years.
Also, here's the thing as well. By the way, you can join us on 99.9 The Fan's YouTube page. Everyone that's watching live right now, shout out to all of you guys. I see you guys leaving all thoughts in the comment section. I'm going to go point out something that Jay just said in our comments section. I thought good players didn't want to sign in Carolina. Guess we can put that to bed. Go ahead and put that to bed. It's The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Dennis Cox sitting in for Tim Donnelly this afternoon. The free agent frenzy presented by John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Lillington continues here on 99.9 The Fan. Again, the breaking news, if you have not heard it, the Carolina Hurricanes have signed Nikolaj Ehlers to a 6-year contract at $8.5 million a year.